Hello, welcome. Just my camera, get everything set up. I'm eating a sandwich, drinking some tea. Couldn't find my glasses. It's chaos here today. All right. I keep my bottle of water on the ground because I'm always knocking into it. I've lost like 3 keyboards. How is everyone today? I promise I won't be eating on the whole stream because it's disgusting, you know. I hate it when I'm watching a tutorial and like someone's got the sniffles or they're like eating, chewing. But hey, you know, you gotta eat to live, right? All right. So today, here's the plan. We're gonna be animating the next shot. So we had the last stream we did was oh hey Electric, thanks for coming. Good to see you. Hi. So the last time we recorded, we took the laser system and we brought it into the spiderbot because this is where the first time we're using the spiderbot. It's going to be in this episode, so I'm going to make sure I have all that set up. I'm going to edit that and put it together for the Patreon and kind of wrap up the spiderbot series over there. So this is going to be our recording for the next shot, so the next part of the story. And this is also kind of a, I don't know, sort of a branching point, I think, for the series, because everything up to this point, we've been making things, putting stuff together, talking about new concepts. And just thinking ahead, we've talked about most of the concepts, I think, and we've made most of the assets that we need. Now it's going to be pretty much just let's animate it every episode. So I think it feels like a different phase in the series. You guys let me know what you think of it. I'm also thinking of maybe doing this episode and then putting a pause for a little bit on epic space battles, or making a sci-fi movie as it's called now, just for a few weeks. And I've got something else that I'm working on, so I'm going to switch over to that and possibly do a bit of live streaming for that and then switch back into it. But anyways, we'll see. I'll talk more about that in a bit. But all right, cool. Let's get started. Make sure, do I have everything set up right? Yep, that's all good. Let me know how the connection goes, team, if things start dipping out or anything happens. I've got an eye on my stream quality and everything, so, and an eye on chat. So feel free to say hello and ask questions, and I will jump in and engage. All right. I think what I'll do is I'll pull up my edit real quick. I'll drag it onto the screen in a second so you guys can see it. Let's see. Thanks, appreciate it, Wayan. Wayan LP. That's it. Nice to meet you. Thanks for watching. Glad you stumbled on the channel. Welcome to the live stream. So the way I do this, I don't know if you're not familiar with it yet. If you just found me, the way we do these live streams is I live stream or record the live stream and then go edit that, and then that's what we use to make the tutorials. So if you catch it live, you get it first. You get to watch all the mistakes, and then I cut all those out and pretend like I know what I'm doing. All right, so let's see. Hey Danny, welcome. I'll pull this up. So here we are in Premiere. Also remember chat, I've got about a 30-second delay on mine. So if you say something in chat, I see it right away. The chat's instantaneous, but my response in the video is delayed by 30 seconds. Just FYI. All right. Now let's see. I'm going to pull up, where are my edits? Sequences, finished episodes. There it is. All right, so I've mapped out my plan. So this is all that we've got left to do. It's a lot. There's a lot of stuff here. You can't see all these markers, but these are all the different, I guess, stages to the to the scene that we've got going. So I'm hoping that today what we can do is get through this reveal of the spiderbot. So this is Premiere Pro, Danny. So the editing software in Adobe's package. So I've mapped these out. Let me, I'll turn on my desktop audio so that you can hear as well. And I'll go ahead and start recording too, because this will be worthwhile, I think. Hey, welcome 4K, good to see you. All right, I'm gonna just start recording and we'll put all this in the tutorial as well, because I might as well have it. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to another exciting Blender tutorial. Today we're going to be animating the introduction of our spiderbot and continuing our scene. Let's jump into it. All right, so here we are. I'm starting us off in Premiere today. I've got the edit up of the animation that we have so far, and I've kind of mapped out what the next couple of shots are going to be. I've sort of made these little markers. I really haven't storyboarded this. I'm kind of playing this whole thing a bit loose, and part of that is because I'm wanting to experiment with Eevee and just have fun with the whole real-time rendering thing, and just discover things as we go. So I'm not storyboarding too much, but I do have these like specific story beats and these ideas that I'm trying to capture. So anyways, the next part for us is we've animated this bit here. And let me just bring this forward. Let me think about this. I've done this before with the edit and it's caused problems. I should be. So our scatterbot flies off, right? Now, the next thing I want to do is, I'll let you hear the music. So I'll play this bit here so you can hear what it sounds like. So it's creepy. And then it gets loud. There you go. And then there's a big bah kind of climax sound. So the plan is, what we're going to do is, in that creepy bit, we're going to introduce the spiderbot. I'm going to have it kind of like creeping up over an asteroid, like in shadow, have the light kind of turn on for it, and it kind of, you know, gets ready. And then I want to have a shot where I see a couple of these little scanner bots like flying through the asteroid field and scanning things. We can see that there's multiple of them. And then we're going to have our main one fly up to the factory. So the giant asteroid alien factory thing is going to be scanning that. And it's going to begin to kind of come to life so that the red runes are going to start to appear. And at about that time, that's where we're going to have these lasers kind of come out of nowhere. And one of the little droids in the distance is going to blow up. And our main hero droid is going to see it, react to it, and then start to run away. And we're going to see the next one blow up, and the spiderbot's going to fly out of the shadows and start chasing our little guy. And we're going to have this great little chase sequence. It's going to be fun. Pretty much from here on out, like the music gets so epic. It's going to be really, really fun watching, I think, how it all kind of works together. Hopefully it'll be really good. So, all right, now I'm going to go ahead and mute my audio there so you guys aren't constantly hearing that be replayed. Hope that sounds like fun. So yeah, and as I was saying before, this kind of marks a bit of a divergence in this series. So far up to this point, we've been building assets, we've been introducing concepts, but we've been spending a lot of time constructing things like the explosions and the lasers and the actual characters. And from now on, we're actually going to be spending a lot of time just animating. So using all the things that we've made and putting it all together. So it kind of marks a bit of a change in the series. So it's going to be a little bit of a different flavor from here on out. So this is almost like part 2 of our, giant series. Like the first part was putting it all together. Second part's animating with it. So hopefully you'll enjoy the way this goes. All right. Now let's see. Oh no, Sheepit's causing problems. 4K. If you guys want to get in on our Sheepit render farm, we're gonna take over the what would you call it, the server? We're gonna dominate the render farm. You can join our team. We're on Discord. We've got a little group chat set up for Sheepit. If you don't know about it, it's like a cloud rendering thing, so you can share your computers together to render stuff faster. So anyways, all right. Let's get started. So I want to think about this. I've got this POV shot that I want to do first. So how am I going to time this out? I need to think about that. I haven't really thought about that. I think I might just export this section. I know you can't hear this, sorry. Oh, we passed CD Matters team today. Oh, that's great. Woohoo! That's so good, 4K. Oh man, I need to email those guys now and harass them and tell them that we're better than they are so that they feature my channel and I get more subs. All right, we're gonna go right up to here, I think. I might export all this stuff, all right? So just cue this up real quick. I'm just gonna export a little clip of the music for myself as a reference. And this is gonna be called, I'll put this in footage. All right, this is called EP12 audio clip. There we go. And I'll just do it as an MP3, that's fine. Export. Oops, why is it? Did I do something wrong? Why is it taking that long? Hang on one second. Did I not sit in? Yeah, I did. Weird. It's just gonna take a while. Huh, okay, no dramas. All right, well, while that's doing its thing. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Okay, so what do we need? We need the scanner bot. We need space. We need asteroids, and we need the bad guy. So let's pull up. Let's get scene. Which scene would it be? Would it be scene 9? Yeah, so the plan is to have this whole thing rendered out of Eevee. That's right. So, okay, so that's that one. So far, at first I thought we'd be mixing them up, doing cycles and Eevee, and kind of like combining the two and doing some elements. But in the end, I'm just like, they look very similar to me when I'm comparing them. It's mostly because we're in space. So when you're in space, you don't get a lot of bounce lighting. So global illumination, I mean, it exists in space, right? But it's not the same. It's so dark and there's such high contrast stuff. It's almost like you don't get a lot of global illumination. So because of that, like that's really the thing that separates cycles and Eevee is the way it calculates global illumination and how realistic it is. When you don't really have a scenario where there's a lot of global illumination anyways, it kind of ends up meaning that Eevee just looks, you know, as good as what cycles is going to look like. Sorry, smashed the microphone with my tea. All right, let's see. I'll just make sure once we get this set up. Yeah, it is hard, Danny. It's tough. It's sometimes the best way to go is always to create just really high contrast and then add in some atmosphere. That tends to really do a good job. Okay, we've got this space. I'm going to go to my timeline. I'm going to go back to 0 maybe, or maybe even frame 100. Just let everything go for a little bit. Make sure my... All right, particles seem to be moving okay. Everything's good. So I'm just kind of spot checking, making sure that nothing's too weird. All right, now I might, let's see, I'll keep the scanner bot. Yep, we want that. I've got his iris controls, got all these different things, scanner eyes, scanner controls, scanner bot, jets, and the scan cone. Drop all that in here. World controller has all of our asteroids and stuff. That's all fine. We've got our big hero asteroids. Yep, 4 asteroids. Okay, so that's all of our bits there. These are just the crazy ones that we've made, the custom ones. There's our sun, which should be off that way. And then our 2 lights. We're just lighting our entire scene with these 2 lights. And we've got the vortex for particle sim. Yep, and we've got our asteroid emitters. Okay, then that's all good. We've got our camera. I might keep those. I've got 2 cameras. Yep. Then I've got the camera path in case we need it. I've got the scan cone. So this is the thing. So the scan cone lives inside. I'll go ahead and put scan cone in with our scanner bot collection. So that's in world. Is that right? Scan cone. Can I? Oh, what's going on? There it is. Okay, cool. All right, so we got scanner bot, scan cone in the right spot. Close that down, close that down. All good. Camera path, scan location. Okay, so this needs to, that should also be in there. Shouldn't this be parented? Let me make sure. Oh, it is. Yeah, okay, so there it is. So I can just drag that up into here, right? Do that again. Why is that not going up? There we go. Don't know why that was working. All right, so we've got the scanner jet control. That's all good. I didn't just get rid of it, did I? I've just gotten rid of it. Scan location. So scan location lives in scan cone. If I unlink, is it still there? Yeah, good. All right, sweet. All right, I don't really need world, do I? It's kind of a silly, it's not really working for me. That's fine. Just keep it for now. Camera path, okay. Now, next step, I'll just get rid of all the animation data on these guys. I might actually, what I'll do is I'll take all these keyframes and I'll just bring him back here so that he's actually in the final position from whenever that shot was. So he flies off camera, because that might be useful for us. Delete those keyframes. Actually, I'll just go into my dope sheet. This is an easy way to get rid of a bunch of keyframes. Go to your dope sheet and untick selected, show selected, and that'll show you all the keyframes in your entire scene. So now I can just be a bit more selective with everything. So my scanner jet control, I can get rid of those. Scan lasers, get rid of that stuff. We can get rid of scan cone, that's cool. Outer iris control, all the facial expression stuff we can delete. Hero asteroids, I don't need any of them floating around just yet. More hero asteroids, delete those, delete those. Okay, far asteroids, these are just the single keyframes that are set for the ambient motion, so we don't want to delete that stuff. Get rid of my camera animations. And this one is, I'm not sure what this one is seen. Is there a keyframe hiding somewhere? Shader nodes. Okay, so it's a shader node. I think that's also just one of those ambient bits. Okay, cool. So back to our timeline. Bring that down. I'm going to switch over to my sequencer. Make sure everything's still working. Yep, all good. Okay, I'm going to switch over to sequencer. Where are you? video sequencer, and I am going to add a sound, and I'm going to grab there it is, episode 12 audio clips. That's what I just exported. Sweet. Now you can't hear that, I've got you muted, but I've just got it there as reference that I can time out the different bits, and I can play it for you later. All right, now I'm going to jump into my camera. I don't need two cameras, although this one's probably the better one to work with because this is the camera we're coming from. All right, great. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I want to actually take my asteroid emitter, come down here, and I want to make sure I bake all dynamics. So I'm just going to bake it all. Okay. Now they all should be baked with that one click. Yep. So you can see right here it says how many frames are in memory. So that's how I know that they've all been baked correctly. And now it just means that when I play it, it's going to be consistent across frames. So I'm not going to have issues where my asteroids start doing weird things. I like the flow. It looks pretty good. It's not too fast. It's the right kind of speed. We can always adjust that later. Because again, these guys we don't have to sweat as much the details. Now I'm noticing that my far asteroids aren't in shot, so I just want to figure that out first. Just make sure my draw distance is really far, which it is. So it means that my far asteroids are just out of frame. So what I might do is, if I grab them down like that, jump into my camera. I'll just have a look at what that looks like rendered. Let the shaders compile. You can guys let me know in chat if my video ever goes stuttery or if it freezes. A couple times that was happening before where the video would stutter and the audio would be fine, but the video would be stuttery. And it actually ended up in the recording as well, and that was really tough when I was trying to cut it. So just let me know. I've turned off RTX voice, which was the GPU-based voice cleaning thing, and that I think has given me a lot more headroom for everything. So I'm hoping that fixes it. All right, cool. And let's just, there we go. Oh, weird. Look at that. They've all stretched. Why would they have stretched? Bizarre. Is there something going on with their scales, maybe? Asteroid. Is this the right material? No, it's the world shader. Go to the object shader. Nothing too weird there. Oh yeah, I did miss your message. Wait, let's see. Did you know? Oh yeah, with the motion blur. I didn't have an alternative in mind actually. I was just kind of hoping to. Well, the alternative in mind was to just throw an effect on it in After Effects. So I was just going to throw pixel motion blur onto it and hope for the best. But yeah, when they announced that they were doing full motion blur for Eevee, I was pretty excited because that's going to make a big difference for us. Thanks 4K. Glad we have no glitches. All right, so I don't know what's going on there with those guys. I'm just not going to worry about it for right now. I might even just turn them off. We can solve that problem later. Okay, I'll switch over to this shaded mode and let's think about what we want to do. I am going to, I'll double up. What do I want to do? Let me grab, sorry, things are a bit slow here at the start, just getting everything set up for myself. Let me go to my timeline. There we go. Back to the beginning, and let's see, where does this audio clip end? So it ends right about here, so frame 339. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. And I'll just double check in my edit that I exported. Yeah, so I've exported directly from the first blank frame. Okay, just go delete that and get rid of all that for now. And yep, good. All right, so let's think about this now. Okay, when you're breaking down a shot like this, you don't, again, because of the way we've built this, we don't have to worry about where our last camera was in a sense. We can be really free to just build the shot from scratch and link all these together in an edit. You could animate this, with one continuous camera and move through the 3D space, but it can just cause problems because not every angle you're going to look at with your camera is going to give you exactly what you want. And sometimes when you're using a sim like this to do like the asteroids, you can have problems where asteroids start intersecting, or they don't look good in a certain shot, and if you move them for that shot, you've messed it up for 5 shots before. So that's kind of why I'm working in this sort of contained, each shot its own project file kind of way, and just doing a few shots together, because then I can just tweak those individually and not run into problems. So now let me go ahead, and we've got our little guy flies off, and I want to go ahead, and I think what the next shot we need to do is we need to cut to, yeah, I should keep Premiere open so I keep referencing those markers because I'm going to forget. Here we go. Let's keep that open. I can keep dipping into it. Oops, sorry. Okay, here we go. All right, so just zoom in a bit so I can see this. So POV of spiderbot revealed. Yeah, that's right. I had the plan of doing a POV. That's cool. So yeah. All right. So we want a POV shot. All right, so for this shot, let me grab find my camera. All right, so I want a shot that, I'll go ahead and lock my view. So this is, the idea of this is to have like this kind of little POV where the spiderbot is kind of peering. I will actually go ahead and turn on render so I can just have a look at the volume and stuff. Something like this could be nice. Of course, these are all going to be moving, aren't they? Yeah. So I don't want to base it on these guys. What I need to do is first find a nice kind of background. And then what I'll do is I will grab, I like this huge one. I think it's just really cool. And also might be a good kind of reference point for our giant factory. Like this could be, it's nice. I also want to reference my other shot. So I'll pop back over to here a bit. I'll full screen that so I can just have this up as well. So this is what this shot looks like. Now you can see that the little droid exits this way, exits to the left of frame. So for our next shot, if he's flying away from us, we need to have him enter from the right of frame so that it makes sense. But I also want to make sure it doesn't look too much like that shot. So I might come around a bit more. What happens if we kind of change our angle a little bit? Not too much that guy. Oh, thanks 4K. Appreciate the super chat, mate. I'll go buy a coffee. Thank you for that. It's very kind of you. All right, let's see. I'm liking the way this big asteroid's going to potentially give us like a really nice reference point for our shots. Like just in terms of feeling like we've got a little bit of geography where we know where we are. And there he is there. He's kind of, that's kind of a cool shot. We might work with this. See how well it cuts. Let's see. Oh, don't worry, 4K. Starbucks died here a long time ago. I think there's like 3 open in the country still. It's crazy. No, with the exchange rate, your $2 becomes probably what, $3.20 Australian, I think. And most coffees cost about $3.20. So yeah. All right. I think what I'll do is we'll start here. And I'll go ahead and set a keyframe for my camera so that I don't lose this position. So for rotation and location. And before animating anything else to that camera, I'll go ahead and set up another asteroid because I want something kind of close to camera here. So let's grab one. I'll go ahead and unlock my camera from view. And let's see if we can find one of these other asteroid groups. Where are they? Okay, so here's one. And that one. Can we use this one? Yeah, we could probably use this one. Oh, that's our big one. All right. I'll grab this one that's off here. Again, these are just the pre-made ones that we've got. They're just, you know, several different asteroids stacked on top of each other. Switch to global. Just trying to get it so that it's close to the camera. Oops. There's the camera. There it is. Okay, cool. So we're aiming down like that. So let's grab this guy and move him up and move him in. Move him around. Scale him down. Up and on the rotate it like that a bit, maybe. Now, one of the ideas of this is to let this asteroid be in shadow a bit. So I'm going to rotate it so that I'm not getting a lot of light on it. Okay, I'm focusing on it. Check out my camera again. So I'm getting closer to it. I might just switch to this mode so I can see him a little easier. And I'll just grab it right up, right in, scale it down, jump into the camera and pop this down like this. And back to rendered view. Okay, cool. Okay, so we need this one to be moving subtly. All right, so I'm going to set a keyframe for the location and the rotation. And I'll play forward just a little bit. And I'll go like this, maybe. and down, kind of like we're revealing it, like this. Hello, Lifton. Welcome. Thanks for joining the stream today. Good to have you. And then let's grab our camera. And oh yeah, first thing also too, I can get rid of, I don't need this anymore, do I? Oops. Let me grab this asteroid system. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to turn the interpolation mode to linear. And then I'll grab my camera. You can see why I'm thinking that this next part of the series is going to be a bit different, because this feels a lot different than like a tutorial where I'm teaching, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of just this experimentation and mapping a shot out. So I am curious to see what it's going to be like for us. Okay, so that's going, and while that's going, let's bring the camera, maybe drift it up. Lock camera to view, there we go. Up like this, a little bit of a rotation. Like this. Something cool. Eye and eye. Maybe. Might be a little too much, because we're getting this thing rotating a lot, so maybe I don't want to have that rotate so much. What we can do, we can actually just untick one of these, and that will show us what it looks like without the rotation. Yeah, I feel like we need something. That's kind of a cool one. Yeah, so just using the Z maybe. See what the Y looks like. Yeah, the Y just sends us off, and the X will probably just... this one's good. I think this one feels the best. Yeah, cool. Awesome. All right, so this is kind of a POV, right? So this shot is the spiderbot watching the little robots go through the scene. And we're going to cut to a reverse of this to reveal the spiderbot. So I also don't want to take too long on it. So I've kind of planned out, let's see. What have I planned? Right about here. So what is that? That's, yeah, 1 second. Almost 1.5 seconds. So 25 frames a second, that's going to be 25 plus 12 roughly, so 37. So from here to frame 37 is really all I'm planning, which might be a bit quick. I'm worried that some of my plans are a bit too fast. We may have to cut it together kind of and see. I think that's pretty good. Feels like 60 frames. Or maybe we can get away with 40. Also might cut in a little bit. I'll start at frame 10 and end on, let's say end at frame 50 for now. Just focus on these frames. All right, so now I'm going to animate the scanner bots kind of moving through the scene. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my scanner bot. All right, yeah, Blifton, you're right. This is the fun part. This is where it all starts coming together. Camera shake way, I like it. I like it a lot. In fact, I've added it to a few of the shots already, kind of off camera. So, and I mean, not live. I've sort of done it separately. So I'll probably add a little bit to some of these too. I think it's a really nice effect. Adds a lot of realism and stuff, that kind of camera shake. But, all right, so let's grab this guy and we're going to bring him in closer. Let's gonna have a look at global. Is gonna make it a little easier for me to move him around. We're a bit off of our plan of having everything on the x-axis like we originally talked about. You can see why that slows us down a little bit, because we kind of have to do this back and forth juggle sometimes to get things in the right spot, but that's all right. I'm gonna rotate him, kind of like we're looking sort of down at him a little bit, and I will set we'll start him Go back to the first keyframe. So we need to have that one guy that exited camera. We need to have him enter from the right. So I'll go ahead and set a keyframe like that for him, and just have him keep moving off. Maybe like, I don't know, let's see what that looks like. Maybe a bit too fast. Take his keyframe and I'll just drag him out a little bit. I'll make them linear as well because I don't want him to slow down or speed up. Now I'm releasing this back at 18 frames a second roughly, so let's see. Oh, thanks Kai, appreciate the encouragement, mate. Glad you're enjoying it. Thanks for popping in the stream to say hello. I've seen your comments show up on the YouTube comment section. Thanks for that. It's been good to see you interacting with the stuff. So by switching to like flat shaded mode or something, we can get a better frames per second. So it's closer to 24, so we can get a better sense of our animation. This audio is just killing me. I know you can't hear it, but I've got to turn it off. It's sequencer. And let's see, can I just mute? Yeah, I'm just gonna mute it for now. Can always come back to that. Kind of a lame shot. Usually it's a bad idea to have things just travel straight across your frame. Like you want them to kind of like be coming at you or away from you, or just a bit more interesting dynamic stuff. So let's try and remedy that. I'll grab the last keyframe here. Just make sure I'm on it by hitting the up and down arrows. And I'm going to turn him, bring him closer, I think. Maybe even like there. Let's see what that looks like. Grab that out. All right, and I could just bring him out like this and turn him a little bit. I wonder what that would do. And then interpolate this one as a Bezier, maybe. Oh, he's going to slow down, isn't he? Can I get away with linear? Just so it's a little more alive. It's pretty good. Okay, let's turn the little jets. Let's get his jet control. This is the one that we rotate like that. So what I'll do is I'll go to the first frame, set a keyframe there. I'll go to the last frame and I'll rotate this thing forward. Maybe even just flip it like that. Yeah, so there's one of our little dudes heading off to scan something, and I want to have another one. So I'm going to click on the top level object right here, and I'm going to right click on it and select hierarchy. What that does is it selects everything that lives inside that. And now what I can do is with my mouse over the main viewport, I can hit Shift D to duplicate and automatically have a whole nother scanner bot system. So this guy, I'm going to clear his keyframes. And we're going to position him somewhere else. Might even have this guy scanning something. So let's see, I'll position him. I might make him further off. And we're going to make sure we can actually see him. If he's too far off, we won't be able to actually see what's going on. But that should be good. Let me grab, I'll need to grab an asteroid system. That is one of our hero asteroids. Let's grab one of these guys. Bring him over here, and I'm going to jump out of my camera, zoom over to this bit, and find, where did my scanner bot go? There he is. Also clear the parent, Alt-P. Oops, I need to do Alt-P, keep transforms. That will allow him to be there. And where did our little guy go? There he is. There he is. All right, grab Z. A little hard to keep track of everybody in this field of asteroids, but probably the easiest way to do this, actually, instead of floundering around like this, is to find him. Just go select him. There he is. Shift S, cursor to selected, and then select the asteroid. Which one was it? There it is. And, oh no, there it is. Which one were we playing with? Not that one, not that one. Not that one. We cleared the parent. Did it move up here? There it is. All right, so now we Shift S and then selection to cursor. That's going to pop it right there on top of him. Now I could just move it out like this and get a good angle. And so with this guy, I want to have that scan, when I'm scanning this asteroid. So we're going to use the scan system that we set up earlier. So I will, let's see, let's grab the scanner cone, which is fully scaled down. So we should be able to just scale this up on the, which way is it? That's right. So we'll scan it up. And then we also need the scan location. Needs to be, where is it? Scan location. Oh, that's right. It's tied to this. So when this scans up like that, that stays in the right spot. That's right. Cool. Nice. Fully designed system. All right. Pull the scanner bot back just a little bit. Grab my, let's see, scan cone. Scale it up a little bit more. And make sure that the scan material is applied to this asteroid. So I'm going to click new, and I'm going to look for, what's it called again? What did we call it? It was, it lives on, get out of my camera. That's why it's important to set keyframes for your main camera. You can see there I'd already used it to jump into something else and could have easily lost what we put together. Okay, let's see, I'll find this. Yeah, it was this one here. So what material? Oh, is it just living on the asteroid material? Is that how we did it? I couldn't remember if it was like a separate thing or not. Let's check that out. Go to the shader editor. Yeah, there it is. So it just lives in asteroid 0.04 is the material that we need. Okay. No worries. All right, let's go back to our scanner bot. Grab this asteroid and yep, asteroid 04. Perfect. That one has it. I'll just double check. Shader editor. Yep, there it is. And oh yeah, we should probably as well update the material for this one. Now this will be the only scan in the shot, I think. So I just want to make sure it's the right scan location. So I'll just drag that one in for there. Brilliant. Now this one should be working if I just turn this on. I mean, it's going to be pretty far away from camera, so yep, there it is. Working. Awesome. I just love when things work. That's so cool. All right, jumping back into our camera. And let's have a look at where we're at. Oh, we have messed things up. That's a shame. So I didn't have keyframes set up for all of my rotation, did I? I thought I did. I did. Why are we looking in a different direction now? Yeah. Did we change the keyframes for that? Oh. Anyways, okay, so you can see how this shot's coming together. We've got this guy scanning in the distance. This guy's gonna fly by. Might have the third one maybe off in the distance. I don't know, something like that. Just check chat, catch up on it. Yeah, it's true with the camera shake, Kai. I feel like with the Transformers movies, it was always really bad. Like the camera shake was going nuts, and the models were really complex and hard to understand what you were looking at. Sometimes when you have a long lens, so you've zoomed in, that's when camera shake really doesn't work well for you. So yeah, it's tough. You got to make sure that the viewer understands the subject and understands where they are in the scene always, and then from there, stuff builds up. So that guy flies by. That looks good. Kind of don't like how he slows down at the end there, so we might fix that. And I want this dude to be scanning, so let's do that. Let's go over to the where are we at? Scannerbot 001 scan cone, and I'll come over to here, and I'm going to animate the rotation on the scan cone. So I'll hit I right there, and I'll come forward maybe 10, and I'm pretty sure the Z direction works for us. Is that right? Kind of does. I mean, we could use all of them, I guess. Set another keyframe. Another keyframe. And then I'm gonna keyframe the scale and then go forward maybe 5 frames and drop that to 0, that to 0.1, and that to 0. So it's like scan, scan, 0. Yeah, a bit of depth of field would be nice, Bliffen, you're right. This particular shot especially. Let's go ahead and turn that on before we forget. Come to our camera, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on depth of field. And I want to make sure that, let's see, I'll select this guy as my focus point. And that'll just make this asteroid a little bit softer. F-stop 2.8 should be good. Just kind of helps with the depth of the scene. Okay, and let's go ahead and add one more in there, because I feel like it'd be good to have 3 scanner bots. So I'll take this one, right-click, select hierarchy, Shift-D to duplicate, and we'll go ahead and delete. So clear his keyframes again, and open this up, and we're going to get rid of the rotator thing. And this one, This one we could put like way off in the distance maybe. Could start him here maybe, or I don't know, down like that. Go to our first frame, eye and eye, go to our last frame, bring him up, maybe bring him forward. Turn off our controls so we can actually see the shot. Cool. Grab this, move it out a bit, grab this, bring it up because he's off camera for the first bit. A bit too in sync here, these two guys. So I feel like he should be coming maybe more from the top. So let's go to that keyframe. Grab him. Where is he? Do I have him selected? Yep. Bring him up here. All right, so now it's taking him a little too long to get down. Okay, now let's figure out the rotation on this guy. I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit so I can see a bit better. It's going to give me better resolution. So I can actually orient him correctly. And I think I'm just going to clear my rotation keyframes on this guy because we haven't used any of them yet. And that'll give me the chance just to kind of correct his rotation some. And I'll take the jet control and I'll just rotate it a bit like that. No, he starts off there. Yes, he's flying off. Yeah, so we just get a sense of, you know, the little dudes are out there, they're doing stuff. They're scanning things. They're looking for something. Perfect. Great. I think we can call this one done. All right. So now we're going to shoot the reverse. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to save this. And I might create a new naming convention for these. Let's go 3D scenes. So this is technically going to be Epic Space Battles. We're making a sci-fi movie 12. Shot. Let me actually get the shot count. What are we up to in shot count for this thing so far? This is going to be, so we've got shot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is shot 7. So underscore shot 07. Save that. And I'm going to go ahead and set up a, let's maybe do a bit of camera shake on this. Let's see, what do we want? I think a little bit of camera shake might add to the POV feeling, like that they're being watched. So let's just give it a try and see what we think. So I'm going to go to my camera and I'll switch over to the graph editor. And let's see. Sorry, just checking something real quick I just thought of. All good. Okay, cool. All right, so let's add a bit of a camera shake to this. So I've got my camera selected. So I'm going to come over here to modifiers and I'm going to add in a noise modifier. And I want to do, replace should be fine. I'm going to zoom in a bit so we can actually see these guys. And oh, that's right. I don't want it on. I'll just turn that off real quick. Got to select the right thing. So because we've got the Z and Y turned off, let me I'll go ahead and turn them both back on, but then delete those keyframes because we decided that we didn't like the rotation on those. Let's go back to my timeline. Although let's look at it now with everything, just see if it's, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you like that? It's a bit nauseating with the spin. It's kind of cool. Maybe let's keep it for now. Let's have a look at what things look like. Have a look at what it does. I'm using 24 frames a second is the plan way. That's what we got locked in. All right, so let's switch over to our graph editor. And I'm going to select, let's see, Z rotation. Let's do that one first. I'm going to put in a modifier, noise, and strength. I'll bring it right down to maybe 0.01. And maybe 0.1. And then take the scale, drag it right up. 0.05. Go even further out with it. That's kind of cool. It feels like we're tracking with this guy now, doesn't it? It's like we've kind of turned our head. We're following it a little bit. I'll keep that. It's pretty subtle, but we want to do subtle for these. 0.1. Maybe I'll try 20 to start with. Go even further out. Maybe like, that's way too much. 50. And then put a bit of noise here. 0.1. Try 50 as well. Bring this one down a bit. 0.01. 0.05 maybe. It's a little too crazy, I think. That feels pretty good. I don't know, what do you guys think? You like it? I feel like I want to have a shadow creeping up on this. Like, maybe even the spiderbot entering frame. That could be cool. I wonder if we get away with that. Like, if I select this, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A, UV sphere. And then, like, just as an example, what would that look like? Let's give it something dark. Yeah, I think that's going to look really cool. It'll help with our cut if we put it there. All right, let's delete that and let's save this. Let's go ahead and bring in our bad guy. Close all these down. So let's go File, Save, and then File, Append, and let's bring in the spiderbot. I could bring in the full one with lasers and everything. Might as well. Let's append. We'll go collections, spiderbot. Hopefully I've set this up correctly. Yeah, Wei, there's red lights and stuff on the spiderbot, so that's cool. All right, there he is. There's our giant laser catcher. Spiderbot. Cool, so all of our systems came through correctly. Excellent. All right, so let's go ahead first things first. Let's take the laser controller and let's stick that way off in the middle of nowhere. It should be off there now. Yep, behind our camera. That's good. Make sure it's behind. Yeah, it's behind. And we don't need any lasers at the moment, so we could take the ray gun and laser, ray gun, and let's take the particle system, and we're just going to drop this to 0 for now. It's not keyframeable, right? Yeah, no. And I'll just go 0 and 0 for now. That's all good. And then let's see, where's our other one? Explosion emitter. We'll just make that 0. Just basically turning it off for now because we don't really need it at the moment. We might in a future shot. And then just for safeties, we could also take our target. Where's our extra controls? Fire lasers, we just fire lasers, turn that to 0. So that'll send the whole laser system back into our laser controller. And spiderbot control, this is what we really want. So he's right there at 0, 0, which is good. So let's go ahead and jump back into our camera. Let's click on here, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift spiderbot control, and we'll Shift S, selection to cursor. So now our spiderbot is right where we want it. Perfect. He's giant. All right. Okay, so let's get him set up. Target as well, selection to cursor. We'll put the target there as well. Okay, so I'm going to scale down my spiderbot and bring him up. And then I'll take my target and we'll put it in the same general direction as where our little guys are. So I'll just take one of these little dudes and so maybe Skinnerbot. Yeah, so cursor to selected. I'm going to grab the target, Shift S, selection to cursors. Now my spiderbot target is off that way. I can turn him around there. I might move that over here and mess with it again, but let's just kind of get him in the shot. So let's also go ahead and get a scale right. So yeah, I'll take this. I'll go selection to cursor. Let's just zoom in. Just have a look at what they look side by side because I want these guys to be bigger. Yeah, that's pretty good. We can always play with that in the shot. So, all right, let's come back to our camera and cursor to selected. Grab this guy and selection to cursor. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to take him and I'm going to take my target. I've got these nice controls on here. Again, if you're not familiar with this, the spiderbot is something that we built in one of the Patreon only episodes. So we've got about 6 episodes of building this guy and rigging him up. So they're worth checking out if you're keen to check it out. I'll fold that down. I'll turn his lights. I'll keep the lights on. We'll see if they show up. And I'll grab the spiderbot control and just kind of position him a bit like this. And yeah, and we could do something subtle like, you know, maybe put that there for now. All right, let's jump into rendered view and have a look at, oh yeah, that looks nice. Look at that. Especially if he kind of hits the light a little bit. Let's see, is there a spot where he doesn't have light on him? All right, I got a cool idea. What we'll do is I'll find a position for him where I want him to kind of like land. Let's try him right here for now. Yeah, it looks nice. What I could do is see how like the light sort of gets revealed as we creep up like this. could have him track with one of these dudes. That actually might be kind of cool if he tracks with that one. That could be really cool. So what we could do is switch back to the timeline, go to our first shot. We just set a keyframe for this guy, like this. Go to our last frame, and switch it right there. Yeah, cool. And then we could have the spiderbot. We could have him start kind of lower like this, and then go to the last frame and move him up and over like this a little bit. Set another keyframe. Then we get this nice kind of interaction of like the light slowly revealing on him. Now we could do, let's see, where's my target? I could also play with the unfold system that we built. So like, what is that? Yeah, like that's, oh, that's cool. That's so scary. So nice. Love it. Love it. All right, let's do that. Let's do something like that. Have him come forward, and then I'll hit a keyframe here, and we'll go to the last frame. And last frame, and I'll extend these up a touch like this. Boom. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's so sick. I'm loving it. This is cool. All right, let's see. I'm gonna get my spiderbot control again. Shift S, cursor to selected. Shift A. I'm gonna add a light, point light. Grab it up, move it forward. I'm just gonna kind of get it on the rock a little bit, and like this. Make it red because bad guy. It's a perfect reason. Radius. Maybe shrink the radius down a bit. What we'll do is we will turn it off here, and I'll set a keyframe, go to the last frame, pump that up a bit. All right. Sick. This is cool. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we'll cut to the reveal. So we'll cut to the opposite angle now and show his face. So we got all these little dudes coming. I think this looks good. We do want to see how well it cuts with the shot that we've got already. So I might. Let's try it. Let's actually. So there's this cool thing you can do in Blender where I can create a new scene. And in this scene, it's a fresh empty scene, right? But I can come over to my sequencer and I can add a scene strip. And this scene strip can be, where's the details panel? There it is, our first scene. And then what I can do is, so preview as backdrop. So it's giving me that little shot that we just did. Now I can go in here and go add movie, and I can grab one of my exports. I wonder, where do we actually have one? I don't remember. I'll have to maybe bring it in from one of the episodes. Or I guess I could just do a quick export. I'll do it from here, import, and yeah, file, export, media. And let's set this to, I'll just do an H.264. Match source, high bitrate, it's all good. Pop this into footage originals, that's fine. So this is episode 12 reference. And I will export that. Yeah, you can actually animate the depth of field distance, Bliffin. That's really, yeah, it's a cool trick. So you could rack focus to the spiderbot, the back of him. But I want to cut to his face. I want the face to be the reveal. So, all right, so I've exported that. So now if I come back over into Blender, I can go add movie, and then we can go to where I've exported that. There it is. So I can now take these guys and oops, grab, grab. It's weird that the audio is not synced. It's a bit annoying. I actually don't know any of the hotkeys for editing in Blender, so it's a little tedious. Let's see, let's take our timeline and let's end it at like 800 or something, so we've got a bit more space. Could also take the previous backdrop, turn that off, switch this to what, the viewer node? Is that the one that I need? I need to go viewer node. No. When you go to editing, what does that give? Oh, there isn't an editing tab. Of course there's not. View, paint, or mask. Nope. Movie clip editor. Nope. Clip, graph, dope sheet. Nope. Compositor. Nonlinear animator. That's not it. Is it compositor? And then I could bring in the sequences. I don't think you can do that. All right, well, I guess I could just go video sequence and view. Where is it? Just do that, I guess. It's probably not the way to do it, but. All right, so let's find the point where, oh, this is really chugging. Jeez, that's so slow. All right, now how do you make a cut? Strip splits, okay. Wow, this is like the most unresponsive editor I've ever seen. Grab. All right, all that to do is was to get us to this point where we could just have a look at how it cuts. But I don't know if we're going to get real-time playback, unfortunately. Yeah, we're not. Okay. Okay, well, it's starting to cache. Like it's down here, you can see we're getting a little bit of cache slowly. All right. I'm just going to delete the audio because that's just distracting for me. Of course, now I've lost my cache again, haven't I? Bum bum. All right, I'm going to make this the out point. So 225. I'll make this the in point. 140. I can just play and let it cache. We could potentially go in here and set it to rendered as well. It's probably going to be useful for us to see it. So let's see if we go input, camera, volume. let's see. Trying to see where we actually turn on. Can't remember how to do it. There's a way of like turning on so that you view it and it's always viewed in rendered mode, but that's all right. We don't have to worry about it. So let's just take a second. So by opening all this up in Sequencer, we can lay it out and basically, you know, see how it plays out in an edit. It's kind of a quick way of, well, not quick as you can see, but it's a way of having a look at it. I mean, this probably has taken us as long as it would have taken just to render out the final shot and put it into our editor to have a look at it. This is why I don't use Blender for compositing, because getting real-time previews is really important for compositing quickly and easily, and it's just really difficult for that. All right, here we go. So he exits frame. Zoom. Yeah, I feel like that cuts. I feel like that cuts pretty well. I might want to make him a little bit bigger when he comes in, because I feel like my eyes here, and then he's coming in at the right spot though. I think that's probably good. Yeah, I think we'll keep it. It's working well. All right. So let's jump back into our scene. Hope you found that helpful. That was a cool little tip. And let's see. Let's switch back to our 3D viewport and get rid of this. I wish that different scenes kept different layouts by default. That would be really handy. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to cut to the reverse. I think we can just animate the reverse within this shot. Now I want to think about how many frames I've got for that. So let's see. The reveal of the spiderbot, I've set to go off at in my plan. So I've got 5 seconds for this whole thing. So 5 seconds, so 5 times 25, that's 125, right? So right around here. Is that right? 5, 10, yep, 20, yeah. So right about here is when I have the whole reveal and all that stuff wrapped up. So I think this will work. I think this gives us enough time. So thanks for joining, Danny. See you. Have a good night. Thanks for popping in. All right, let's go ahead and get our cut going. So reveal. Da, 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 da. I might try cutting around frame 50 still. I think that was working well for us. Okay, so let's see. We've only got. I might move spiderbot into world. And yeah, we've just got one camera, so let's shift D to duplicate. Yeah, I could 4K. I could duplicate the file and do it that way. That would work. But for ease of use, I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way. So I'm going to add a marker right here. Get rid of that marker, and I'll grab this one and just set it right back here. And I'm going to select this one, and I will go marker, bind camera to marker. That's not what I wanted, but that's okay. Delete that, grab him, put it right there. And I'll select this camera, control click it, and marker, bind marker to camera. That should give me a new cut. Yep. All right, so for this camera, I'm gonna come over here and I will clear these keyframes. And I'm gonna zoom around. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. Now, what's important is when you're cutting between two different shots, right? We've got our one shot, right, which is over his shoulder. If I jump back into my camera, you could see that we're kind of over his right shoulder a little bit, okay? So for this next shot, I want to be if you imagine an invisible line between running right through the middle of our spiderbot, straight through the scene in the direction he's looking, we want to stay on one side of that line. So at the moment, when we're facing his back, we're on the right side of that line. So when we flip around and we're facing him, we want to be on the left side of him in that same quadrant. So what I want to do is I want to swing around here and I want to keep my shot on this side of him. Okay, so I can be pretty close to dead on if I want, but what I don't want to do is drift over here. If I cut to something over here or anywhere over here, it's not going to make sense to the audience. And I could probably even demonstrate it. So let's lock the camera to view and I'll swing around. So this is the correct angle, right? So this makes sense. Okay, if I was to go cut from this to this, it makes sense spatially in your mind as a viewer. But if I was just to come over here to this side of him, you can see now it doesn't make as much sense. It gets a little confusing about which direction we're looking or which direction he's looking. But if I'm over here, it starts making mental sense to the viewer. In fact, even more mental sense, I think, if we come right around like this, because now it's like the exact opposite cut. Okay. All right, so we've got this, but as you notice, one of the issues that we have here is the scene doesn't look as good, right? So there's not even as many asteroids behind this guy. And he looks like he's kind of sitting on top of the asteroid. The framing's all a bit off. So this is one of those scenarios where it's a good idea to actually just start a new project file and just move everything just so it's perfect for this one shot. So that's what we're going to do, actually. I'm going to set my endpoint of this one to be 50. And I'm going to go ahead and save this. And then what I'll do is I'll make my start frame 51. And we'll go to 125 for this one. So this will be my next shot. So I'm going to file, save as, and I'll call this shot 8. Okay, there we go. All right. Say hi to chat real quick. Hey, Bastian, thanks for joining. Welcome back. Yes, 1 pixel. I'm at it again. Someone stop me. I should be doing actual paid work, but I'm not. I'm doing this. It's more fun. And yes, 4K, it's the 180-degree rule. You got it. All right, so with this shot, let's see. I'll just grab this forward. Have a look at everything. All right, so first things first, let's get this asteroid set up so that it's moving correctly. Turn on all my controls. There we go. Where are you? This asteroid's hiding here. All right, great. So I'm going to grab these keyframes. I could probably just duplicate these keyframes. So I'll just grab those. Or just reuse them, I mean. So that's moving slightly. I might even parent into it, possibly. Although we need to move it around. So maybe let's clear these keyframes. This is a better idea. All right, let's get this asteroid in position. So I'm going to rotate him a little bit, grab it on the X, on the Y, on the Z. Move my camera back some. I also think I'm going to change my lensing on this one, and I'll zoom in a little bit more. I'll get my depth of field to be not the asteroid emitter, spiderbot. Is it going to give it to me? Nope. All right. What's it called? Spiderbot. Spiderbot control. Spider eye. That'll be what I used. So So let's go to depth of field, type in spider eye. There we go. Awesome. Okay, now let's see. I want to get, I think I'm going to take this asteroid. Just going to move this thing around. I'm going to change my lighting too for this, I think, because I don't want it all to be lit up. I'm wondering too, we could use this camera possibly. And because we got the nice kind of ambient rotation and shake on it. We can just copy that over as well. Lots to think about. All right, let me think. What do I want this shot to look like? I want him to be in shadow, and I want him to kind of like look up over the asteroid. So I need to have a bit of asteroid in front of him. So I'll duplicate this. Something like this. Jump into the camera, bring it down a little bit. Let's turn off our selection tools just to see. All right, I might duplicate one of these guys and just bring him over here and basically use him to block the light. So I just need to figure out what direction. I mean, I could move the lights, but I'm thinking I like them. I just want to try maybe a bit of a reveal. So I might want to have something I can animate and move out of the way. So I need to move it past my camera though. So that's cool. So yeah, it's nice now. It's like really dark. I can move it though to get little bits of light if I wanted to. And then where's that light that we had, that point light? Is that just here? Yeah. So this point light I'm just going to use for a bit of extra, clear those keyframes, a bit of extra oomph. You can see you can really bring out a lot of cool stuff. Something like that, make it look real evil. Is it going further away? So one of the things I've been thinking about, yeah, no, this is a new file. Sorry, 4K, you must have missed it. I just saved this out as a new file. One of the things I'm thinking about with this next part of the series, because of the nature of how it's going to be animating these shots, I'm thinking about actually just doing these as live streams. So let me know what you think of that, as opposed to edited tutorials. Just because I don't know what it would be like to actually cut a lot of this stuff out. I could try it, but you know, just something I'm thinking about. All right, so let's clear the keyframes for our target. So this means we can move him around a little bit. And yeah, this is looking very cool, very creepy. All right, let's grab let's have a look at, I'll clear the keyframes here so we can keep him folded up and have him kind of unfold a little bit. We could also possibly, I wonder. I'm just experimenting now. Not really sure. Just kind of seeing what I can get out of him. I think I liked it better when it was way off. Like that. Okay. Oh, thanks, Bastian. Appreciate it. Yeah, 4K. So the idea would be that I would make them available. So they'd be available for everybody, the live streams. So everybody could kind of watch the whole series develop. I mean, there's a lot we could cut out. Like, for example, when I don't do anything, like right now, we could cut this out. And we've recorded an hour and a half so far. So it's a long episode. Anyways, all right. Let's see. I want to get my spiderbot to, let's get the camera figured out. What are we going to do with the camera? Let's go to our camera. Start bringing this thing to life. I'm going to hit a keyframe for my location and rotation in the first frame, go to my last frame, and I'm going to lock my camera to view, and I'm going to zoom in maybe a little bit and pull up, possibly. I feel like we're too close now. Maybe I do need to like zoom out a little bit on my camera. Like this, possibly. Maybe I want to stay down. Actually, it might be nice to do that thing. There's a kind of shot where you like you go in and down, and while you're looking up. So something like this. We'll have to animate the spiderbot, of course, but kind of as he kind of emerges out. I could even bring this up some as he comes out. Let's go to spiderbot. Where are you? Spiderbot control. There you are. All right. I'm just going to clear these keyframes. I'll set a keyframe for the rotation and the location. And come forward. Like this, maybe. And then take the target. You start it like this. Move it down like that. And then we'll take the fold. Set a keyframe. Bring them up like this. Yeah. Now the lights we can turn on and off as well. And so what I'm thinking is we bring them on for this shot. So even though we've got that red light in the previous shot, what we can do is maybe have it on just a little bit like this. And so he comes up maybe right here. And then I feel like it needs to have a bit more mechanical motion to it. So let's see. So let's go to the fold keyframe. And what I'll do is I'll make it happen a bit quicker. Not that quick. Might even make them linear. You know, so it like doesn't gradually slow down. It's like what I might do is maybe even let's do this. We'll go fold and we'll come forward a bit. We'll copy and paste that keyframe, grab that one, drag it out. Drag this one out so it's like it does like a double motion maybe. Yeah. Meh. Let's get that light figured out. Actually, what could be cool with the target, what if the position of the target is like moving a little bit more erratically, you know, like it looks over here and then it looks over there. One thing we could do is we could turn on auto keying. We could hit play and then just drag it like this. Except I doubled up on it. There's one little blip there. Let's find that. Just delete some of these. Yeah, cool. It feels alive now. See you, Bastion. Have a good night. Thanks for joining. That's 3:30 a.m. Go to bed. All right, one other thing that we could do, which would be pretty sick, would be to go to our shader editor, take the spider eye material, and keyframe some of this stuff. So, like, you can see we can get these really cool things. So, like, if we start like this, hit I here for a keyframe, come forward a little bit, do some of this, and then back to 0.3. Yeah, that's sick. Maybe move that back a little bit. Yeah, if you don't think that's cool, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with you. That's so cool. All right, great. I'm pretty happy with these two shots. I think we've introduced our bad guy pretty well. I wonder what would happen if we turned him on a little bit slower. So if we go to the lights bit and I brought this forward some. Maybe even took this one and change the value of it to be 0. See what that looks like. So it's like he, yeah, that's a bit better. Maybe a little bit sooner. Great. Great. Very cool. All right, well, we've got our shots. It's going to be very nice to see these cut together and in place. So what I'll do is I'll render these edits out and yeah, put the shots together so we can see them in context with the full thing. And yeah, carry on from there. So I hope you really enjoyed this. I hope you found this fun. This is what we're going to look like for the next sort of, little while. This is going to be shot after shot of just animating and putting these things together. So like I said, I'm going to experiment with doing just the live stream, maybe a bit less of an edited tutorial and more of like a, let's just make this together. So let me know what you think of that in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done that already. It really helps the channel to grow, helps people to find it. And check out the Patreon and think about signing up there. There's some cool tutorials like how to make the spiderbot guy. It was over there, all the materials, everything. It's already explained there, so you can join that on the lowest tier. And yeah, check out the Blender Market. We've got the Particle City assets over there, which is a lot of fun if you haven't seen already. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate you tuning in and checking out this stuff. Hope you're having fun making your own sci-fi epic adventure movie. Let's catch you in the next episode. See ya. Bye. All right, that was just for the record. Great. Well, thanks everybody. That was fun. Thanks for joining in the live stream and for hanging out. Now, as I said, I'm thinking I might actually have a little pause. I'll do this shot. We'll maybe, get this together for a tutorial. Well, like I said, I'll decide what I'm going to do with the setup. But I'm thinking of taking a little break from this series just for a few weeks, because what I want to do next is I'm going to be entering into a competition. So there's Unreal Engine is running a competition in Australia right now, and the applications are due at the end of the month. And it's to basically create a short film. So it's a pitch for a short film using Unreal Engine. And so what I've been thinking about doing is making a sci-fi short with Unreal Engine, with Blender, and applying for that. So if I get it, it's going to be really great because I'll have a funded budget. And part of the idea behind it is actually, I've got a cool concept. I'll do a full pitch video and stuff for you so you can hear what the story is and everything, but it's full narrative stuff. And I'm even thinking of doing some live action filming. So actually filming some actors on green screen and bringing them in and having kind of like a live composite thing going on with some characters made in Blender and stuff. So it could be really cool. I'll keep you posted. I haven't fully fleshed it all out yet, and if I don't, so the application's due at the end of the month. I'll apply at the end of the month. If I get through, like I think they're going to pick 3, and there's like hundreds applying. So if I get in the top 3, then I get funded to make the film, and then we'll just do a full big series on it and just focus on that for a little bit. So that should be exciting and fun. If we don't get picked, oh well, no worries. We'll just keep going with this. But anyways, I will catch everybody later. Thanks so much for joining in the live stream, and hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, night, morning, wherever you are. And yeah, take care. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.